Yeah, I'm gonna record this, and because people might find, I don't know, this might find this interesting. I did this before, but this warrants like an update, I think. So yeah, like the first thing you notice is this is a JP8080, and it's the famous kind of rack mount trance synth. The keyboard version is the JP8080, and it's pretty nice. I have it running MIDI out from my machine, which is here. Or the MIDI out is going to the JP and then going into my interface there. But yeah, it's very famous, used on a lot of stuff. And yeah, it's striking because there's like these faders here. And what I'm going to do is, if I can remember correctly, I'm going to go edit, init, right, temporary. So now we have a blank kind of pad here, and patch, I should say. I'm going to open up KVR. I'm going to open up just a tiny signal analyzer up in the top right corner here, so you can see what's going on. Too loud, but why not? Alright, so we start out with a saw right here. It's pretty nice. We'll start out with the legendary, let me move my T here. Let's get that out of the way. The legendary super saw, and there's two kind of controls, and they're sensitive to what oscillator you are after. And there's two oscillators, oscillator 1, oscillator 2. You can only use one kind of super saw and triangle mod. Those are specialty for oscillator 1, but this is two parts, upper and lower, so you can have basically two super saws running if you have upper and lower, and you do that with multiple MIDI sources, right? So MIDI channel 1 and 2. Channel 1 will be controlling the upper, and then channel 2 will be controlling the lower, right? So these are case sensitive, or not case sensitive, they're context sensitive. So we're in supersaw. You'll notice down here it'll say what it's doing. So supersaw mix and detune, right? So detune doesn't do anything. Why is that so quiet? Get louder. All right, so you'll notice that it's aliased, and that's why it gets that sound. It's not perfectly, like symmetrical. There's little jaggies in here, and that's what gives it its sound. So I'm going to show you what that is. So we'll go mix. So we'll mix in a bunch of saws. So we have more, so I'll just show you what that sounds like. And then I will show you what it sounds like when you detune them. Right? That's pretty cool, and that's what the supersaw is, and it's quite famous and emulated, but I have the real thing, and that makes me happy. All right, so we have another thing, which is the triangle modulation. So what that is, it's a weird triangle that scares children, and I don't like it. And so we have our pulse width here, kind of, and our LFO depth. And it's a weird, kind of interesting sound. Also, noise. This will change to resonance and cutoff. Very nice filter here, and our feedback oscillator. This is like drum and bass. make like weird dubby-steppy. Yeah, it just does weird stuff. And then typical traditional square impulse. So you have square and modulation depth and pulse width. So yeah, and there's that, and then there's our saw, regular saw. You'll notice they're different. That's more sinusoidal. And you can kind of bend it. So now it's like traditional kind of saw. And then you can adjust the symmetry to like a sine wave, or have a very deep saw, as opposed to one that might sound a little bit thin. So good for, you know, leads and stuff like that. But if you want it to be like a deep bass, then you know, adjust the shape, and you add a sinusoid to it. You can add you can add a sine wave to anything, and it'll have more buttocks, if that's what you want to call it. That's what I call it. And we have our triangle here. We can adjust the shape as well. Right? And then we have our ring modulation. We have our other oscillator. So we have 2 oscillators with upper and lower. So count that. That's 4 oscillators. And it's quite nice. So typically you'd use, like, say, a super saw, and you would go here to your balance between oscillator 1 and 2, and there's a little center click in there, which is nice. So you go to your oscillator 2, you go to noise, right? So we have a noise signal here. It's just simple noise. Then we have our super saw on the other one, and we can add in the noise to the super saw to give it more, you know, awesomeness. Right, and that's basically that. The effects section is up here. If I can read, let me do that. Yeah, okay. Oh, I want to show you something. So, like, when I first got this, I was kind of blown away, because everyone emulates the super saw. Right? Everyone emulates it, but they don't emulate the controls that make it sound the way it is, and that is these 2 bass and treble pots here. So you'll hear it. Sorry about that. And if you want something like really deep, like rank 1 style, very deep. Another thing is, you know, there's a lot of emulation stuff out there, but none of them have come close to the filter that make it famous. So I'm just gonna play something here. Right, so a very, like, kind of resonant filter that sounds really nice. I want to show you a few more things on the effect section here. We have like a color kind of effect. This is like a chorus, and you can change that by getting in here and programming it. It's kind of a pain, but it's fun. And we have our delay here, wet dry. So now we have trance, basically. So now that we have trance, we want to have the filter, and the filter with the super saw really adds to what we're doing here. So below here we have our uppy downy faders, and these are really special. They're like, they don't make them like this anymore, obviously, and we can adjust the depth Right, so we can adjust the ADSR. Right. Or we can make it all punchy. Right, and that's pretty fun. I enjoy that quite a bit, and with a bit of resonance. And the treble pot here. Right? So you have a trance, and you can just go trancy-pancy. I have like cat hair. That's not good. I should take care of this thing. And from there, we have our amplifier envelope, and I just love how it's uppy-downy faders. Traditionally, it's like a version of Sound 1, and it really takes after that. So you can make it more plucky here. I'll just turn off the... What the heck is going on here? What? How come I'm getting no sound? Why? I'm not getting any sound. Am I getting a dropout? Bitwig is receiving sound, and I'm not. I'll turn off the audio engine. I'll turn it back on. How about that? No. Well then. Well, why are you so quiet now, bro? Okay, did I break it? Ugh. Boy, that is weird. Oh, the frick happened there? Thanks, Bitwig, thanks. Sorry about that. Alright. I accidentally turned that down. Somehow that got bumped. Because I have my wedding ring wrapped around it. I'm going to wear my wedding ring. I thought my video... okay. I thought something died. Anyway, back to our amplifier envelope. This is actually a better example. So we can make it more clicky. Right, and that way you can have that going on. And you can have it really... So it's basically an ADSR. Right, and that's how you make your pads sound longer or shorter. And you can make some really nice ones. Pitch envelope. I have not really used this that much, because it just sounds weird. But you can do some really interesting things. And it's there if you need it. And it's really nice. Oscillator common, yeah, you can route them and you can modulate each one with each one, which is... gets kind of confusing. You can have portamento. So you can make some neat music. And two modulation kind of things here. One is for this one. So it's hard map to pitch. And you can have sample and hold, which is nice. Right, there's that. So it offers flexibility. You can make R2D2 sounds. And for this modulation, you map it to, so there's depth and then there's rate. You can map it to pitch again. Wait, what am I doing? can map it to... Oh. Wait, what am I doing? Modulation. Oh, that is LFO 2, and that is with the mod wheel, and I don't have a mod wheel. I am silly. But yeah, you can map this to whatever you want also. So you can receive modulation from LFO 1 from any of these. And that is LFO 1, yeah. So I need a mod wheel, and I don't have one on me attached to anything. I need to get that too. But yeah, that is basically the JP. I'm going to check the comments here. See if I lost anyone, because that is silly. Do. I need a coffee break, allegedly. I bumped my push and it turned the volume all the way down for some reason. Might have to watch and see what happened, but that was weird. But yeah, this is the JP, and it has like a lot of really interesting sounds if you're into that sort of thing. I'll show you. So you go edit, right? And we will go to utility. Wait, I go. I want to edit. I want to edit scope. Nope. I want to edit setup. Nope. I want to edit patch. There we go. Nope. Now I want to edit. How do I do that? I want to edit patch. Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is the multi-effects up here, and we have different kinds of multi-effects here. Damn it, I did it again. Edit patch. Yeah, and you can do all this sort of stuff. How do I change that? Oh, yeah, so I changed it with these two. Okay, so it's like a weird kind of pain to program. So you don't have like rate for flanger and chorus. You have just slow and medium and fast. Right. Oh, I did it again. Nope. Exit. Patch. There we go. So mid. And then fast, and then another one. Flanger slow. So we'll do the super soft so it's kind of rich. Another one. Flanger deep. Right? And then fast. Deep phasing slow. So that with with other effects, you can get lots of nice trancey sounds. And jet phasing, which you may have heard elsewhere. Twisting, which might be like a positive flanging or phasing. Freeze phase 1. Pretty neat. And then distortion. And that'll knock your fillings out. But yeah, this was recorded on my stream, and yeah, kind of requested, kind of not, but I don't know, it was interesting. It's just a basic blabbling of the JP8080, which I'm a fan of, and it was easy to set up. Alright, I'm going to stop recording, and I'm going to get back to my stream.